get in, get out, make your point. But it's interesting. There's a story out of Seattle today. The Seahawks reportedly are not going to give up much for Baker Mayfield, if anything, and that does appear to be his market, Seattle. So, and this is a prime example. This is why. So if Seattle just took us on as an affiliate, and so what I'm about to say is a general theme I say all the time. It's unfair what we ask of our quarterbacks, but you have to be a man, not a boy at 22. Got to be a grown-up. You're the face of the franchise. You don't have to be a grown-up at linebacker, wide receiver, running back, tight end. Got to be a grown-up. That's why I rip Johnny Manziel, I rip Baker, I rip Cam Newton, Jameis Winston. They were kids still. You can't be. Sorry, I've got to be the mean teacher. And because I don't think Baker's ever going to get a situation nearly as good as Cleveland. That was his best shot. He will never have an offensive line that good, ever again. Is he going to get coach of the year at the next place? Offensive guy? Seattle's got a defensive coach, 70 years old, bad O-line. Will he ever get Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt again? David Njoku, Austin Hooper, Jarvis Landry, OBJ. Don't kid yourself. Cleveland was a stacked roster, and because Baker came in on a rookie contract, you could stack the roster. That's what they do with Kyler Murray right now in Arizona. That's what they did Jared Goff with the Rams. You stack the roster because you're not paying him anything. Well, Baker's going to be a $20 million quarterback. So you can't get that second pass rusher. You can't get that second great corner or that second expensive wide receiver. So that is why I'm so hypercritical of quarterbacks. Now, this year's quarterbacks, I think, are both mature enough. Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, I don't worry about that. That's not my issue with them. I think Kenny Pickett's got a low ceiling, and Malik Willis isn't quite ready to play. He played at a small, college level. But there'll be another quarterback maybe next year, and I'm going to light him up and be really hard on him. And I'm going to get tons of pushback, and I'm going to say I've been right every time. I was right in Johnny, I'm right in Baker, right on Cam, Jameis. Is that it's a unique position in America. There are very few positions where at 23, 24 years old, you have to be a grown-up. Pilot, doctor, quarterback. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules up, but you got to be ready to go. You're the face of a $4 billion franchise. And so when I hear there's not much of a market for Baker, there's a market. It's going to be a bad market. I mean, if you look at right now, all the really well-run teams in the NFL, New England, got a quarterback. L.A., got a quarterback. Kansas City, got a quarterback. Colts have a quarterback for at least 2 years and weren't interested in Baker. San Francisco, got an old guy and a young guy. The places that aren't sure at quarterback, check him out this morning. You wouldn't want to play for him. Yeah, the New York Giants will need a quarterback in a year. Good luck with that one. That O-line isn't the Cleveland O-line. Those running backs aren't the Cleveland running backs. So you got to be, I know I sound harsh on this, but my criticism with Baker wasn't a talent thing. It was like, dude, are you ready to be the face of a franchise? Because when you are ready and come in like Russell Wilson, and then I can go out and sign Cliff Averill and Percy Harvin and guys that you couldn't afford with a veteran quarterback. I mean, Percy Harvin didn't play until like the playoffs and the Super Bowl. But you can do that when you don't pay your quarterback anything. So when you do come in like that, and you're Russell Wilson or you're Jared Goff has limitations. Maturity is not the issue. You can stack it. So that moment is, I mean, say what you want about Deshaun Watson. He's really good. The problem is he's paid so much money, they're not going to be able to have nearly as good a roster. Deshaun's roster will not be as good as Baker's roster. I'm not saying it'll be bad, but it won't be as good. Also, Big Ben was aging and eroding in your division, and Lamar was young and hurt. Now, Burrow's a star. Trubisky will be better than Big Ben. He will for this year, and here comes Lamar. So, like now, this division now, if you were back in it and still in Cleveland, the easy route's over. Those days are over. That division went from shaky and opportunistic to, I mean, that thing now got Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow. Pittsburgh's got the best pass rush in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, that's the division. 3 or 4 years ago, it was there for the taking. Lamar was a kid. Ben was aging. Burrow wasn't in the league. Way late. This league moves fast. You got to have your act together because it moves fast. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Well, Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill both got traded, the trades they wanted this offseason, and they signed massive extensions with their new teams. But they also left two pretty good quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, and Michael Irvin wonders if they will regret making those decisions. He said they had some great quarterbacks. I'm interested in seeing how it works with Tua and Carr, but it's surely not Mahomes and Rodgers. If you ever make that move, do you shorten the time you're making $30 million a year because all of a sudden you're not making the same impact? This is a meritocracy. It would have been hard for me to make a business decision on leaving those quarterbacks. I think it is something that was initially discussed when they left. I mean, it is a reliant position. Obviously, the position is changing. The money for the wide receiver position is changing because the money for quarterbacks is changing. And we've seen what kind of success you can have when you have a number one wide receiver. I mean, I think the Bengals and the Rams in the Super Bowl exhibited that extensively with Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase. So I just based off of the amount of evidence that we have, I would say Devontae Adams is in a better situation offensively than Tyreek Hill initially, because we do know what Derek Carr is capable of. We still have some questions about Tua. I mean, Derek Carr just got paid, so that's not just my opinion. That's the NFL's opinion as well.
I'm going to throw out, people will be surprised by this. Quarterbacks and head coaches take a little less to be surrounded by great. Wide receiver, running back, corner, just take the money. I'll give you an example. Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, T.O., and Calvin Johnson are four of the best receivers I've ever seen. Their legacies are not hurt at all by the fact they have no Super Bowls. Dan Marino is arguably the best quarterback talent I've ever seen. And we talk about Eli Manning far more, who was the second best Manning quarterback in his family. And if his arch is good as they say, he may be the third best. Quarterbacks' legacies are built on Super Bowls, and so are coaches.
Right.
Wide receivers, just get the money. Just take the money.
Well, yeah, people always argue with me that win-loss is not a quarterback stat. And overall, no, it isn't. But we judge quarterbacks off of the amount of winning that they do.
Winning
and
big games.
Winning that they produce. And certainly in the postseason, which is why I think if this continues to be a trend for Aaron Rodgers over the next couple of years, it's going to hurt his legacy.
Absolutely.
Like, you're awesome in the regular season, you crush a weak division, and you don't do anything in the postseason. Where Tom Brady did that, he also did it in the postseason. There's the separation.
There's no question.
So I don't know that this is gonna hurt either Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams' legacy, certainly in the next couple of years. Like, I think Tua is going to be a lot better this year.
Yeah.
He has way better pieces around him, better offensive line, new offensive coach, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not better this year, it should be concerning. So I don't think maybe a little bit of the production will be hurt for the two of them initially. But Devontae Adams has a relationship with Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I'm with you. If you are a dependent position or you're a position like this, which, by the way, doesn't get protected the way that quarterbacks are protected, take all the money.
Yep, take the money.
Always.
I am for most everybody, take the money. Now, quarterback, Mahomes, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Brady, they've taken less money.
I also think the quarterback should take the money when they get their first deal. I'm okay with that because you've likely been playing with great pieces around you, and hopefully if you're getting that money, you've had some success while not making all that crazy money. So your first deal, I'm okay with quarterbacks taking all the money. You're still young, get the money. But once you start getting into later parts of your career, taking a little bit less to reach the legacy points that you want to reach, if that's what you're interested in, that makes sense to me.
I take less money because I want this unit to be intact. That is my game plan.
We do not have a salary cap, so I don't know about that. So Baker Mayfield did an interview that we've been talking about for the past 2 days. Bold strategy, but he's still a member of the Browns, and he's hoping to get a fresh start on another team next season. I believe he will. I think the Browns will probably hold on to him until after training camp, when inevitably someone will have an injury issue and there will be more of a market for him. But he spoke about having an approach to the new locker room that will be around him.
I'm not going to force it. I'm going to be myself. Because I feel like I tried to force it when things on the field weren't going well in the past couple of years. I feel like I'm gonna go in there and be myself because that's worked for me in the past. If I'm worried about getting them to like me, what am I doing? They don't care if I like them either. They want their quarterback to win. They're trying to get a paycheck. If their team wins, they get paid. So the guys that don't really personally like me, that's fine. But I have to have their respect. And the way I do that is just working my ass off, me and myself. Because you can get sniffed out in a heartbeat if you're fake.
I don't necessarily agree with that. That's not what I would have said. But, hey, it's his birthday today, so no reason to give.
Look, where do I even begin? I bought into the Baker hype with Cleveland. He had a nice rookie season. I thought his personality fit the city.
Yeah.
And obviously, they were able to put it together for 1 year, and he won a playoff game. Overall, everything that happened in Cleveland was not his fault. He does not make roster decisions.
That's true.
They had a very extensive history of dysfunction and failures before he got there.
Certainly true.
He made them relevant and did produce some level of winning.
Yes.
And boosted their